Hello, welcome to another roulette strategy simulation. I'll just explain a little bit first about what we're going to do before we kick it off. We're going to be using a 10-minute timer, a high win rate strategy called the Romanovski method, and we're going to see whether it's at a profit or loss after 10 minutes. But what we're going to do is when we get a loss, which I'm sure we will at some point, even though it's got a high win rate, is we're going to enter into a recovery method, and then that recovery method's got a stop loss. So then if we hit the stop loss, I mean, in a real world situation, like a real casino or whatever, if I hit my stop loss, I'm walking away. I don't chase losses. That's a fool's game. But this is a simulator, so we can just stay at the table and we can chase the losses. So we'll hit the stop loss, we'll reset the timer, because then it gives us that bit more time to try and chase that loss, and then ideally at the end we'll be in a profit. But personally, I think this one might be at a loss, even though we're using a high win rate strategy. It'll hopefully demonstrate why you shouldn't chase losses, just take the loss and walk away, and why you do have a stop loss. So yeah, if you're not familiar with the Romanovski method or the recovery method or anything like that, I'll be explaining as I go along.
Welcome to the table. Place your bets, please.
So we'll get cracking. So we're going to use 1 unit, 1 chip. We're going to be betting 8 units each round, and then we'll be using a recovery method as well. So we put 1 unit on this 4, 1 unit on this 4, 3 units in that dozen, 3 units in that dozen. Sorry, that's 2 minutes. Yeah, so then 8 units total.
No more bets.
Start off with a spin. We're covering, I think it's 32 numbers there out of the 37, so high win rate, about 85% I think it is. So that's a win. So each time we win,
No
we'll
more bets.
rebet. Nice and easy. And each time we get a win, we only win 1 unit compared to what we're risking 8 units. But like I said, it's got a high win rate, so we'll keep
No more bets.
keep going with that. I have got a 10-minute timer going as well, just to keep it from going on all night. So another win, we'll rebet that.
No more bets.
Be interesting to see how this one turns out, because I have had a lot of success with this strategy, but it can be quite risky as well. So there's our first loss. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try and recover that loss of 8 units. We're only down by 5 anyway, because there was a few up. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 8 units on red. The reason I've done red is because we've just had a red, and we're going to be betting on doubles in this recovery method. But like I said, we're only going to have 4 attempts at this. That's our stop loss. If you hit your stop loss, in a real world I'd walk away. But in this, we're going to stay at the table because it's a simulator, and we'll see what happens. So we'll spin that. And we got a red. So straight out of that recovery, we've recovered that. Back up to 3 on the session win. So now we can carry on with our Romanovski method. 1 there, 1 there. 3 in this dozen, 3 in this dozen. And we'll carry on.
No more bets.
But like I said, that recovery method, it can be a bit risky, but it has served me well in the past. So another win, so we'll rebet that.
No more bets.
Thought that was a 0 then. That's another win. We'll rebet that.
No more bets.
See, so we're up 5 there already on the session. Another win. So we'll rebet again.
No more bets.
Nice and easy this one. You can have some really good winning streaks, but with it being the roulette wheel, we can have big losing streaks as well. Another win.
No more bets.
Up 7. We're risking 8 as well, so you know, if you wanted to, you know, especially in a live casino or whatever, now that you've hit 8 and you're risking 8, you don't have to go into recovery when you lose. It gives you much more sort of room to breathe really with your losses and your risk management. because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Really, it's managing the
No
risk,
more
because
bets.
don't really matter what strategy you use, because it is random. The roulette wheel, they're all independent. The spins. Another win, so rebet that.
No more bets.
So, yeah, session winner 9. You don't have to enter into recovery if you don't want to at this point, and you'd still be in a profit. So, like now, if you lost, you'd still be 2 up. So, you know, it's up to you how you manage your risk. But for the purpose of this simulation, we will be entering into recovery when we get a loss, which
No
I'm
more
sure we
bets.
will at some point. 34, that's a win.
No more bets.
18 red, another win. So rebet that.
No more bets.
Let me know in the comments if you've had any success with this strategy, or you've tried variations of it or anything like that. I'm interested to know about what recovery methods you use as well, and whether you've had success with them. Let me know how you get on in your simulators.
No more bets.
I'm wondering as well is if people use stop losses, like how many times do you double up, what percentage of your bankroll do you use, you know, in the simulator
No more bets.
to try and recover. I like to use 4 because it's not overly risky. If you walk away at 4 and you know, you're not going to go bankrupt then. So we're at 15 units on this session win now already. So if we have one more win
No more
now,
bets.
we're at 16 units. So if you had a loss, really, you could have 2 losses and you're still going to break even. So this high percentage strategy does pay off sometimes, because you're already covering your losses now because we've had another win, 16 units. But like I said, for this test,
No more bets.
we will be using recovery. But we don't need it at the moment. Another win.
No more bets.
At this rate, we won't even need recovery. Another win. There's only 5 minutes, just under 5 minutes left on the timer. So we'll keep going quickly. Try and
No more
see if a
bets.
loss comes in so we can test it. I mean, this video is going up whether or not it's win or loss. If it is a win, then great. But you know, you can check out the future videos,
No more
because
bets.
there will be some losses at some point. I'll show you some of the bad streaks and some of the things that can happen when you go into recovery and you don't manage your risk properly. But 20 units up there. We're only using 1 chip, 1 unit, so 1 unit as 1 chip. So if we were using, like, you know, say for example, if we were using $10 as 1 unit, that'd be a $200 session win so far, which, you know, I'd probably walk away from. To be honest, I'd take that. Last time I said that, we got a loss, so we'll see what happens now. We're going to rebet.
No
We'll
more
spin
bets.
that. 32, it's another win.
No more bets.
21 session win so far. Another win. Rebet that because we
No
win.
more bets.
Like I said, we just use this Romanovski method. It has got a high win percentage. I think it's about 85%. So you just bet. If you win, you bet again.
No more bets.
If you lose, we go into recovery. The recovery's got a stop loss, but we've not even needed it really. I think we've only been into recovery once. This has been
No more bets.
a high win rate. I mean, we're at 24 there, so that's, you could afford 3 losses now, and you'd still come out with a 1 unit win. Just take my bonus there. So this has been very successful. Only a couple of minutes left on the timer, so we'll
No
get a
more
move on.
bets.
Rebet. Another win. This is surprising me, actually. I thought we'd have been into recovery a few times. I actually thought we'd have hit our stop loss by now, so
No more bets.
this is interesting. The actual aim of this video was to show what not to do, was not to chase losses, but we've not had any to chase. Rebet that.
No more bets.
Another win.
No more bets.
Nice and easy when you get these wins, you just rebet and spin. It's interesting that we've not had zero for a while as well. Just win after win. So, yeah, rebet.
No more bets.
29 units. Another win.
No more bets.
This is what happens when you cover 32 of the numbers. But yeah, I mean, you know, even a high win rate strategy like this is still risky. You're still risking 8 units per bet at the end of the day, and you know,
No more
your
bets.
reward for those 8 unit risk is only 1. That's quite high in my opinion. But you know, you never know with a roulette wheel. That's what makes it entertaining.
No more bets.
Rebet that. 32 units for the session win, so you could afford stop. That's the timer there. You could afford 4 stop losses. Another win. Right, so that test actually yielded far better results than I thought it would. I genuinely thought we'd have been hitting that recovery a lot more often, and then when you hit the recovery, you've got the risk of hitting your stop loss, because with it, it's based on the martingale recovery. You double up each time. You can risk losing huge amounts of money if you're not careful or you don't walk away. So yeah, 10 minutes, 33 unit session win, which is pretty good, because you know, if that was, say, you know, $10, it'd be $330 up in 10 minutes there, which is pretty good. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of that. Let me know if you tried it out yourself, and stay tuned on my channel. You know, like and subscribe and stuff, because I'm going to be showing loads more strategies. And particularly, I'm going to be focusing on recovery methods, because when I do these videos, at some point we're going to get monumental losing streaks, and it will show you what not to do and why to have a stop loss. So keep an eye out, and thanks for watching if you've got this far, and I'll see you on the next one.